What's up everyone, Jeebs here. Wanted to do a follow-up video to the Civic Si review I did. Because the Civic Si is within the range of the Focus ST, I like to give my thoughts on why Focus ST over Civic Si, and then why Civic Si over Focus ST, just giving you my perspective outside of doing the review. And I will do this anytime I review a car. If it's within range of a Focus ST, I will do it. I reviewed my friend Dana's NSX. Obviously that's not within range of the ST, the ST being a much higher performance car than an Acura NSX. So anytime I review a car that is similar to the Focus ST, I will give you my feedback on should you buy this over that, or why I like one over the other. Anyways, before we jump into the meat, the heart of the video, let's take a look at what Car Gazette sent me. So here's the box that was sent to me from Car Gazette. If you're not familiar with them, it's a monthly subscription box. It's all automotive focused. This is the premium subscription box. So this would cost you $46.99 a month. There's also standard and basic subscription. Check out in the description below. I'll have a link to their website so you can pick what would fit for you. I also went with a JDM themed shirt that they sent me. And I will say, I'm very picky about t-shirts and all that type of stuff. This is very soft, so it's actually a nice, you know, it's a premium shirt, feels nice, it's something I'd wear and be comfortable in. It's not, you know, a lot of the junk that is out there. There's also, you get like a cleaning supply every month with the premium box. You get these diagonal pliers, which are very nice. Nice weight to them, and it seems like they would do a nice job cutting whatever you need to cut, wires. I've also heard these are really good for cutting guitar strings. If you play the guitar, maybe you should get this box. So there's also just some stickers, a business card for them, a really nice plush microfiber towel. You can never have enough microfiber towels, so that'll be nice to use. This stuff here, this can also be diluted, so you can use this to degrease your engine or wipe down your interior when you dilute it properly. So it comes with a poster in here, car scent thing, which, you know, sometimes I need it after a Taco Bell run. You know, but it's a really nice subscription box. And I will say, just getting something like this every month, just having a box come through, it's kind of exciting. You don't know what's in it, and it's all useful stuff. You know, getting some t-shirts if you're into that. If you don't like the t-shirt, give it to one of your friends. The other thing is, anytime I get into a subscription or something like that, I always get worried about being trapped. You're able to change your subscription at any time. So if you want to go from their premium down to their basic, or from their basic up to their standard up to the premium, you can do that at any time. So I really like the flexibility with it. Again, being able to pick, I went with JDM, you can go with Muscle or Euro. Check out the website, it's going to be in the description below. I think you'll really appreciate some of the things they have to offer. Let's get back to the video now. So why Focus ST over Civic Si? The first thing I will comment on, and I'm talking stock to stock. I'm not talking about you LS swapping a Civic and it's the fastest thing in the world. Just relax, okay? Stock to stock. Here's why I think you should choose the Focus. The first thing is the power. And some of you may say, well, Ben, your car was $30,000. The Civic Si is $24,000. Yes, but the power doesn't change if you get an ST1 versus an ST3. So if we're talking an ST1, you have 252 horsepower and 270 foot-pounds of torque. The Civic Si has 205 horsepower and 192 foot-pounds of torque. Now, the other thing you need to note about the Civic is it's about 2,900 pounds. The Focus, I actually don't know the official weight of the Focus. I think it ranges from about 3,100 to 3,300 depending on what options you have in it. I probably have the heaviest, yeah, I do actually have the heaviest possible layout of the Focus because I have power driver seat, sunroof, and I think those two add the main weight to the car. So the Civic does have a weight advantage, but again, just that raw power, it's down, and it's way down on torque. So I wouldn't even put the Civic and the Focus in the same car class performance-wise. I would put the Focus slightly ahead of it. So if we're talking Forza Motorsport, I'd say the Civic or the Focus is a D class. or is a C class, low C, and the Civic is probably a high D class if you play Forza. So let's talk exterior. I think the Focus is a more muscular looking car. Now, the Civic, I'm not saying that the Civic is ugly by any means. I'm just saying that when you see a Focus ST, it is strikingly different than a base model Focus, whereas the Civic has, sometimes even me, as much as I love Honda and I love seeing SIs and Type Rs around, I sometimes have to take a second glance to see, is that an SI? Or because the sport models look so good and they didn't really differentiate the SI that much from the sport models, and I even think you can get SI wheels on non-SI models. That's great for non-SI owners because it fools people and it's a beautiful looking car, but I wish they would have differentiated it more from the base model. The Focus, on the other hand, the hood is bulged, although I think the hood is bulged on all of the models. But the front fascia is very aggressive. It's very rigid. You have the center exit exhaust out of the back. You have the side skirts, which are a little more flared toward the bottom. You have the wheels. You have the lower stance. It's really a difference when you're looking at them side by side. You can get, if you got like all of those options on a titanium Focus, it can actually maybe trick you. I know a couple times when I've seen when a normal Focus has the ST spoiler on the back of it, it makes me double take that. So, you know, I'll give you that. So let's move to the interior of the car. And by the way, if you're triggered by now already, don't worry, I am going to make a YSI over ST video, so just relax, okay? Now let's talk about the interior of the car. In the SI, there is no option for you to get leather seats. To some people who are like, I don't really care. And to be totally honest with you, the seats in the SI are great. But it's a luxury thing to have leather seats, and I also think that the infotainment system in the ST is also superior. 8-inch touchscreen, it's very intuitive, it's quick, and it also has buttons. Now, Honda did fix that for the 2018 or possibly 2019 year, where there's actually some buttons as opposed to a full touchscreen. Porsche, I can't remember the guy's name, but the head of who designs the interiors for Porsche said that for years they are not planning to get rid of buttons because people like touching buttons. There's a certain sensation to it that people enjoy, and I agree with that, there is a place for buttons. You don't want too many of them, but you don't want to totally eliminate them. Because when you're driving, sometimes you just need to hit a button. You don't want to worry about hitting the wrong button on a display. Tactile benefit to buttons, where I totally agree with that, but it's good that Honda addressed that. So on the interior, you can also get heavily bolstered seats. Again, these Recaro seats in the ST2 and ST3 package are really nice to have on back roads. Yes, on long road trips, they can be over cumbersome, but it is nice. When you're on those back roads, you do not move from your seat. When you're on track days, you do not move from your seat. And that's a nice part of it. It's also, when someone gets in your car, it's always, every single time, like, whoa, haven't sat in bucket seats for a while, or wow, these seats are great, something like that. It's obvious. The other thing I will say is, in a stock SI, is the shifter throws, I think, are too long. The stock ST does not have a short throw shifter, but it's also not just like normal throws. I call it a sport transmission or a close ratio transmission, because the throws aren't that long, but it's also not a short throw shifter like the RS or a Type R has. I think that the shift feeling in the SI is great and you can get used to it, but comparing them side to side, that's one thing I remember. I was like, whoa, this is a big difference compared to the ST. The other thing is the clutch pedal in the SI. The clutch is extremely light. It's like pressing a piece of cardboard back. It's very, very light compared to this, whereas the ST has a nice pickup to it. One of the upgrades that everyone is telling me to get is a Stita clutch spring. Don't know anything about it. I haven't even driven an ST with that, but they said it makes the clutch feel incredible, so that's a possible upgrade for me to do in the future. So that's that. I will also say that the steering wheel in the ST has the flat bottom, the perforated leather, and I think that is very nice as well. I will say that the SI steering wheel is very nice. I wouldn't say one's better than the other unless you're just really partial to having a flat bottom steering wheel. When I did the review with George, he was a big fan of the steering wheel and having a flat bottom. He wishes Honda would have done that. But again, the Honda steering wheel has a really nice size. It's like the steering wheel in a GT86 or a BRZ. It doesn't have a flattened bottom, but it's small. It has a small circumference, and that's what you want in a performance car or a sports car. Focus SE just taking me over, no problem. Something else that is constantly discussed with Honda versus anyone else is Hondas are so reliable. And I agree with that. Hondas in the past are extremely reliable. I had a 2011 SI Coupe, loved that car, had no issues with it. But I'm getting close to them. I have 46,000 miles on my ST. It's a 2016, and I had 62,000 miles when I got rid of my SI. I don't see any issues possibly happening with this car. Now, when you tune a car, yes, you increase your risk, you shorten the life of the car, possibly, depending on what you do to it. These new Hondas have turbos in them, so that's a totally different field for them. Now, it's Honda. I'm sure they built a reliable engine, but at the same time, these STs, these 2 liters in the STs are used in several cars, and they have been known to be a reliable engine. Now, the ST can sometimes be driven by total morons because of the price point, and there's a lot of blown engines, not maintaining them correctly, not tuning them correctly, not waiting until the engine's warmed up, constantly you know, you put Hoonigan stickers on your car, you think you're Ken Block. There's all kinds of reasons why engines will go, but for the most part, this is a reliable car, this is a reliable engine. So I really think that's kind of glazed over because it's Ford. But I can tell you this is a reliable engine with the proper maintenance and all of that type of stuff. Now, there are things that are unavoidable because it's a GTDI engine, that there is gunk buildup. I haven't had to do walnut blasting or had any red warning lights yet, but that is a common occurrence, but a fixable occurrence. It's not like, you know, you're blowing head gaskets or anything like that. It's just you know, it can be a pain to go through the process of cleaning that up. But again, it is a reliable engine. I don't think it's an argument to say I'm going to get a Honda, or I'm going to get an SI over an ST because of reliability. I think you can be comfortable in buying this car and knowing that it will be reliable for you. More on the interior, I just think that the interior of the Focus is a little more mature. The Honda interior has a little bit more room, but the Focus interior, again, and I'm talking more, I guess, specifically about mine, with the carbon fiber trim, you know, the navigation, the dials. I like that the SI has, it's a little more updated. It's got the fully digital display. This is analog, and it's not as performance oriented. There's a lot more technology in the SI that I will get to in that video. But for the most part, let's say you take the dials away, the interior of this car feels a little bit more grown up. So with all of that said, it's, at the end of the day, it's your choice. You have to buy what you like driving, what you can afford, all of that stuff. I say when you're going to buy a car, drive all of them, do as much research as possible, and don't let the opinions of others shape your, you know, if all of your friends hate Ford but you love the ST, and get the ST if that's what you really want to drive. If you've never owned a Honda, you want to experience that, get the Honda. You're going to enjoy both of them. They're both great cars, but those are my, if I were to, you know, pick certain areas, that's what I would do. I'd also say the aftermarket is very strong for both of these cars, and you're going to have a lot of fun tuning them. You can get very significant power out of both of these engines for not too much money. That's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, I do videos. I release them every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And I will release videos at other random times, but it won't be scheduled like that. But if you want to come back here for consistent content, that's when you can tune in and you will see a new video pop up. Other than that, I have some upgrades coming up. I just need to find the time to get them get on a weekend and be able to get under the car and get it fixed up. But I also sent some requests out to I'm going to totally bleed the brake lines and put in some higher end brake fluid, possibly stainless steel braided lines, but I personally think that's a waste of money because I'm not taking this car to the track. However, it does give you a more consistent brake feel. I just don't know if it's a gimmick, if it's like a thing that's, because you know how there's those upgrades that are kind of cheap, they're like easy to buy but not really necessary. Like, yeah, stainless steel brake lines are better than rubber, but is it really necessary if I'm not taking the car to the Nürburgring? Probably not, but maybe it'll make a good video for all of you to watch. But I will be bleeding the brake lines because I feel like a little too much squish in the brake right now. I do a lot of driving for my job, so I've just noticed that as of lately. And you know, the more you drive, the higher risk you're at for being in an accident. And every once in a while, when you have to slam on the brakes, I want to make sure that I'm getting the best performance out of them. No fade or brake wear, and also for canyon runs too, you don't want to have any fade or brake wear. And what I've heard is changing the brake fluid is more important than just about anything before taking your car to the track. So that's what you can expect coming up. I also have a lower intercooler pipe I need to put in, reduces turbo lag, a little bit better engine response. So I'll keep you all posted on that. I might actually do an update video just going over again all of the upgrades I've done and some things like that. Also noticing some Hyundai Velociter ends coming into dealership stock. If anyone in the Phoenix area is getting one of those, I would love to review it. So just keep that in mind. My email, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen here. Keep that in mind. I have a review of a STI, a Type R, and another Focus RS that is highly tuned. So that's all coming, but Velociter N is what I'm targeting. I'd love to drive that. I DM'd Hyundai on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, if you want to, it's Jeebs again. And they have yet to respond. I asked if they had a press car I could drive in Phoenix, but no love to Jeebs. But that's okay, because when they come crawling back later, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna no respond. Yeah, right, I'll sell out in a minute. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like the video if you're still with me. I'd really appreciate that. Been a nice like ratio. Like to hate, there's very little hate, lots of like. I like. And thank you for the support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Sorry it's dark outside.